less or in overtime. So if it gets close, they're going to have to finish strong. For Tennessee Tech, they really have to keep them in rotation. What I mean by that is UT Martin likes to double the ball, so you need to get it out of the trap and play 4 and 3. And then the Johnson bros. In order to win close games, your two best players have to step up, and that is the Johnson brothers for Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee Tech, first offensive possession, and there you go. Jaylon Johnson, the only put the Skyhawks in front by a point.
That pick and roll, that middle pick and roll is really hard to defend when you have the shooters out there. So the tag man cannot come and help on the roll. So that could be a good play for them all night tonight.
Nichols, the kick out, extra pass, Johnson again, and there he is again. Eagles ball up by 2. 2.5 minutes in here in first round action in Evansville. Rodney Johnson Jr. out to Jaylon Johnson. He's hit 3 to get us started.
And when they double, you want to get the ball out of that, and you'll get open threes on the perimeter.
A 9-4 start, and all 9 of them for the Golden Eagles belong to the guy with the ball, Jaylon Johnson. He had 22 points and played all 40 minutes in their regular season finale. Johnson again, and the friendly roll, give him a dozen. There's the double on Nichols. Passing lane jump there by Bukirovich. Tennessee Tech trying to beat UT Martin with some ball movement here. Now it's Egunaway. He gets stuck. Out to Johnson. Got it.
Corner 3. Kyle Layton spins it out. Offensive board though. Second try. Jaylon Johnson from the top.
And Browning rose up over Kyle Layton.
Spent the last 3 years in Milwaukee. Helped Coffeyville to a national junior college champion. Lindenwood was to fall. They'd be 9-11, but Lindenwood would have the tiebreaker by virtue of going 2-0 against Martin. Still a lot to be decided in Cookeville. Johnson hits from in close. A 3 by Wildy pops free rather.
Was Nichols just gave him the shot. Wildly got it halfway down, just couldn't get it the rest of the way down.
Under 8 minutes left. Jaylon Johnson creates space, hits the 3 and a foul. With 6.5 left. Pass for Jaylon Johnson.
We shouldn't have said that, Dylan. We couldn't get some free basketball here after you said that.
It really is amazing how often they've done it of late.
Nice pass.
And Johnson with the finish.
Seen that play many, many times by many different teams. When it's executed, it's beautiful, and they executed it nicely.
He had 19 on Tuesday. The response, Jaylon Johnson.
That did a great job of hustling and running that down. I think here in the first few minutes, we've seen what kind of Western Illinois teams coming out here tonight. They're coming out here to win a basketball game. They want to go out into the season on a win.
Johnson jumper, count it. Tech within 1. Third in that department. The Golden Eagles, though, they do lead in the most makes in the conference, and they're averaging 9.5 makes from 3 per game. They've got 2 so far. Jaylon Johnson, he is off to a big start.
Good start for 2 good bumps and created himself enough space to go up over Ajiboye.
One of the few Leathernecks back this season. They did go 13-5 last year in the league. 4th place, won a game in the OVC tournament, made the semifinals. Jaylon Johnson off the window. It was a Payne offensive board. That's tipped and taken. Golden Eagles a steal.
Good help defense that time.
Jaylon Johnson. Oh, his hot start continues.
I'm pretty good tonight.
He's got 14. A player to watch coming into the game. Jaylon Johnson, his response, a big one for Tech, and knocks it down. He's got 8. Jaylon Johnson, that reverses through.
Being able to get to the basketball.
Tech leading 18 points, sliding the steal. He finds Johnson. Throws up the three. Jaylon Johnson buries it.
After that big three by Myers and the easy layup right there by Smith, I think all the steams went out of the Golden Eagle engine for the night.
It was 12, now back up to 17, but it's a Jaylon Johnson three. Up on the receiving end, DeVoe. 26 points, Trey DeVoe. Now Jaylon Johnson's answer, there's a three.
We said, loose and free. You know, that's a shot when you're ahead with them, you know, about a minute and something to go. You don't want to take that.
If they can force a bunch on Tennessee State and score at the other end of the floor. If they don't capitalize on those turnovers, Tennessee State is going to have a lot of fun on their end of the floor.
And they're already having plenty. Have opened up 5 of 5. And are on a 6-0 run here in the last 80 seconds. And Boonaway lost it out of the timeout. Shot clock down to 10 for Tech. Johnson with a little mid-air contortion.
Just when you think Tennessee Tech is going to make this a game, it's always a run by Tennessee State. They find the most opportune times to get themselves forcing a turnover.
I told you the shooting pace I didn't think was sustainable as Johnson cans.
Open three. Grullon comes up empty, but an offensive board. Now Genyard, that won't budge. Board by Johnson.
Well, Johnson comes from the point guard to get that one.
He is the OVC leader in assists. Had a huge game when the two met in Martin. He'll take the three from the top. This one goes down. Opportunity here in the second. Jaylon Johnson. He's got a little bit of an opening. Jaylon Johnson all the way. Golden Eagles looking for the lead. Jaylon Johnson puts that one off balance. It falls through.
Auction is an opportunity to sit in and do a half of basketball on a SEMO basketball broadcast. And Maddox Hyder is our commentator. Not the first time that he has been on this one. And so Maddox is going to sit in with us. Maddox, how old are you now?
I'm now 17 years old.
And tell us about high school. There's a three. Okay, they're giving the basket to Jawan Nichols, by the way, and there is a basket mark, so any more Red Hawk fouls, and it will be bonus time for Tech. There's a middle of the road free throw shooting team in the OVC, 5th out of 11. Nice behind the back dribble by Johnson, but it can't get by B.J. Ward. Post feed, Ajiboye against Terry. Little handoff, Johnson. Off balance, triple. That was. You don't think these guys are competitive? One guy backs one guy down, and he's calling for the ball the next trip down.
A little bit of payback.
Ajiboye. Little screen and roll, got tipped, but it comes to Layton. Fortunate bounce for the Golden Eagles. Johnson cutting all. Number 8 for the Red Hawks. They're 8 for 22. Behind the back dribble, fall away jumper by Johnson. Splash. Oh! His first attempt of the year. His first look at the bench. They can't believe it. Terry hit a three. Johnson has an answer.
He's a guy that if he can get open at the top of the key like that, a very dangerous three-point shooter, 38% on the season.
John Pelfrey wants Tennessee Tech to run play chin. He touched his chin as they came down. They look, they lob it left corner. Johnson's three has answered. Mwani Wilkinson's three. And we'll take it the other way. He sizes up at Boonaway, goes off and misses the layup. And the rebound to Slatton. Slatton will push it quickly into the right corner. Johnson's three is good.
Man, Tennessee
tie the game up with a three. from the right wing.
A three-point shooting barrage from both groups. 10 combined three-pointers here in the first half.
Johnson drives and is able to lay it up and in to Hughes. Hughes will pull up from 15. Might have been hit on the arm. He was short. And Tennessee Tech runs it out all the way to the basket. Johnson goes and gets the layup. He's got 6 now.
It's a tough jumper, but if Little Rock's going to get back in this thing, this is the end it's going to start. They've got to figure out a way to get some stops, and that's not the way to do it. Jaylon Johnson gets all the way to the rim.
The ball roll up, 8.7 to play, 78-72. Little Rock by 6. All the way into the front court. They pick it up. Johnson pulls and hits 3.9.
Misses the putback home. That's Calais.
Got to be careful when you try to split that double team like Jaylon Johnson did. You get your feet tangled up, and there's a lot of arms and a lot of reaching there.
So it is now 6 straight for the Panthers following the 9-0 run by Tech to start. Golden Eagles almost turning it over again. 4 Tech turnovers. The jumper through Jaylon Johnson. Some of the turnovers. And EIU just 25% from the floor. 7 of 28. Jaylon Johnson nets the triple. Kobe throws that one up. Can't get it to go. Johnson claims for the Golden Eagles.
And out of that 9, I was getting ready to make my point. I let the action go. 5 of them have fouled.
It's a goal in their annual play for K game wearing the pink jerseys. And it's the way that Coach Pelfrey honors his late nephew.
Yeah, that's a great thing that he does for his nephew.
It'll be Jaylon Johnson nets a 3.
Shot up to at least give his team a chance in that situation.
On top, Joyboy with it. He'll work it to Johnson. Johnson got it.
Last time for camping against these Golden Eagles.
Olowane off the rim, too hard. Another board for the Golden Eagles.
Good job by USI to get back defensively, too, to stop the fast break.
Open 3, Johnson, and
now 9 points.
Johnson Jr., you can expect him to try to get the lead back. The other Johnson hits it from...
Have left and moved on. It feels like Tech's been here since day one.
They're the second oldest in the league. Morehead State, the only remaining charter member still in the league.
Backdoor, nice pass. Yeah, a little cutout in the corner, pretty play that Gilles, who we've only said once when he committed a foul, gives it back to Ajaboye. Another offensive rebound, and what a putback, maybe the smallest. Coming into the intro, Morehead State and Johnson Arena, as Brazil's 3 is off, deemed the toughest place to play, 6th in the nation in toughest places to play in the last 5 years.
Yeah, Morehead State's had it going on here in the last few years, and especially at home.
And listen to the teams above them. Houston, Gonzaga, Purdue, Kansas, and, well, just so happens Drake, as Tennessee Tech takes the lead. Secor to Brailsford. Brailsford will force it up. Rebound. It's going to be on the run for Sells as 2 players tumble to the hardwood. Up the court for a 3 by Johnson. There for Tennessee Tech, and the lead back to 10.
Skyhawks off to the fast start.
Jaylon Johnson has at least 1 3 made in all 18 games this season. He works at left wing. Got it down low. Ajaboye to Johnson. Low left block, now back out. Layton on the right wing. Layton shut off by Radakovic. Outside, Johnson fouled and banked it in for 3. Answers!
Yeah, he was heading down to play defense when it left his hands.
23 points for Salaridze. 64-62. Egbunue down the left side, outside Johnson. Golden Eagles, 6 of their last 8. Johnson, screen left Nichols, Jaylon Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. Johnson, they want it into Nichols. He's got 5, now 4. Nichols, 2, 1, 0. It's up, it is gone! Oh my! Strong screen from Zuzic. They're going to go back to that same look. Salaridze throws it up, no good. Tennessee Tech comes down with it, and they'll slow it down here. Glasgow. Johnson, under 90 seconds to play. Double team comes. Glasgow on the left wing. Not hurried one bit. Glasgow, mid-court. Jaylon Johnson, 8 seconds on the shot clock, puts it up for 3. Good!
Sees the dump off. Ogundelli finishes it.
Ajiboye stuck, no dribble. Still looking. Finds Jaylon Johnson, long 2, pure.
Great.
Gets inside and scores, and Tennessee Tech is back in front.
Great use of the speed right there. And
Jaylon Johnson picks the puck, and they're close to having gone 3-1 on this 4-game stretch, with the one loss being the double overtime game against.
Whenever they do that, it opens up opportunities for open threes and dunks from these athletic bigs.
14 now for Williams. 9-point lead for the Tigers. Johnson, and there's the 3. He's still
move though. Got a chance for numbers.
Lane blocked from behind. Wilkinson got it. Johnson makes a 3. A WNBA.
And he was a heck of a basketball player at Arkansas too.
NBA champion as well. There's Jaylon Johnson. He nets a 3.
Up and in.
Just like that, the Trojans back up 10 to match their largest lead today. Near gotta have territory for Tennessee Tech, and Johnson delivers. Ward hit a clutch 3 the other night. 11 seconds left, tied the game before Little Rock won by 2. Underneath, Jaylon Johnson lays it in.
Halftime come, you just soon keep playing.
This time a miss from the corner. B.J. Ward unable to drain. Now Johnson to the basket, lays it in. First possession, Terry's line drive begging. Now Tech's first look here in the second.
If you're Coach Pelfer, you like that first possession. Terry got a possession like that in the first half. He just bullied Nichols. Nichols that time put up a little bit of defensive resistance.
Johnson finds an opening and puts it in for the pair.
Got scores twice on the...
Nichols had that block. Grant Slatton, extra feed, open 3, Jaylon Johnson from the corner. Terry's jumper, a little bit short. Nichols patrols on the glass. His 4th board. Johnson, space, makes him pay.
Here.
The spin, the kick, the corner tray. Cole connects. Johnson heating up here in the second. Stacker caught it, the patience no, the tip no. Johnson claims.
Tennessee Tech is awful fortunate right there.
Ajiboye bounces Johnson. That is blocked away. Tech wants a goaltending. They will. All the way, jumper Johnson.
This becomes a much more manageable game if you are SIUE. Jaylon Johnson's the trigger for the Golden Eagles. He'll launch it in for Nichols. Shot clock is at 8. Nichols. The 3 rattles home. Ooh, Jaylon Johnson a point down to 5 up here in the first 2 minutes of this second half. 31-26. Egbunaway straight away. He'll drive into the elbow. Leave it for Sells. Sells was questionable coming into the game tonight, but obviously feeling all right. Johnson trying to take it to the basket, and he does. Good off glass. 15 minutes to play in this game. Johnson rising for three. It's good. Jaylon Johnson's first.
Just an all-around scorer. He knows the scouting report on himself, too, and he's going to take it to the paint as well.
29 20-point games for Taylor in his career. That's a good touch right there from Jaylon Johnson.
He's going to have...
Glasgow inside. Ajiboye out for Johnson. His three is good, and the foul.
This SIUE team talk about him, his teammates. He's a warrior. I mean, they always say he's the first one up off the ground. He got up pretty quick again, but you hope he's all right.
Here comes the three for the tie. Jaylon Johnson with a three for the tie. He's got 16.
His third straight start, Stephen Clay. He snaps a Golden Eagles 6-0 run. We got a 2-point game. Nichols bounces Johnson all the way for the pair.
That's just
one of the keys to the game. 3-point shooting. The Golden Eagles 3 of 7 from deep. Moorhead a 48% clip to start.
Both teams shooting it rather well from the field. Moorhead's getting a lot of good looks off of offensive rebounds for sure.
Jaylon Johnson puts Tech in.
Nichols that time got caught up in a little bit of a crash situation, fell to the ground, slow getting back up.
The game knotted at 25. Not anymore. Jaylon Johnson.
Quick
play. Jaylon Johnson, oh, nice move, and a chance for three. Wow, what a play. Up and again, another basket, Olawami.
Olawami taking advantage of a wide open lane, just laying it up and in off of an easy lob.
VMI transfer and the conference leader in field goal percentage. Jaylon Johnson nets a three. Campion throwing it up through the crowd. It ends up with Tech. Johnson off to the races for two. He'll fire and drain it. A clutch three. Harrison cuts it today.
That's big by Harrison. Got just enough space to get it off. Egbunaway wasn't close enough to him.
With 4.5 to play. Jaylon Johnson responds, gets the bounce. Hometown scores.
You got a double on him, but they tried to swat it away and they gave it up because they didn't want him kicking to a shooter. Very patient by Tamba.
Boonaway kicks, extra feet. Johnson rises. The three is through.
You see how impactful he is on different parts of the game. He had a deflection already, a block on the other end, and just attacks the defense, just puts pressure on him at all times.
Jaylon Johnson, a little give and go. That was,
and it's his burst, and he's in that passing lane, and you let it go, and you're like, oh no.
Keith leads the team in steals, and you can see why.
Right.
Glasgow into the game for Tennessee Tech with Johnson. They looked to double him. He beat it. Nice move and a shot. That's a great play. Johnson going to look to Ajiboye. Little hook. No. Got his own rebound. Missed again. Missed again. Let's keep trying. Good rebound. And they find the open man for three. Bang, got another one. Ajiboye. Oh, look at that fake and easy layup. Boy, with Bass and McDaniel up top. Again, telegraph pass. And that's not a travel. Layton fell, slid, rolled, but they got the ball out.
Yep.
And it's a turnover.
Tried to call a timeout, but
Jaylon Johnson with Layton. Layton got turned away. Johnson off a screen. They'll go back inside. Ajiboye. Johnson. Knuckleball three. Yeah. Browning. Into a double team. Finger roll, no. Couldn't get the flip.
Look at him run.
And the layup and the foul.
Great work in tight quarters that time. Good interior passing and leads to the big dunk.
Now you got to get stops.
Yep.
Boy, that's an emotional boost.
Like you said, you got to make them score against good half-court defense. Switching out on the three.
Layton and Sells, or excuse me, that's Slayton. Ajiboye. Johnson tries to get inside. Oh, makes an impossible.
And mid-range jumper is good for Sean Smith. Take a look at the starting lineup. On that three from number 3 for Tennessee.
Johnson.
9 to shoot.
Johnson gave Myers no room to work there at the top. That's what you have to do to Ryan Myers, because if not, he will make you pay. He can pull it from anywhere.
Johnson just so speedy, so quick. And the
back down low.
Yeah, Myers especially with that little jumper in the middle. Didn't get it to fall, but another opportunity for Western Illinois. Once again, didn't come away with the points on the possession, but packing those offensive board stats. And there's a mid-range jumper, which is
time you cannot hesitate. You have to take what you have, what is open.
Johnson Jr. might have been blocked there, might have been a little bit of contact. Either way, Jaylon Johnson.
Now Western Illinois has gone down and got a bucket. Tennessee Tech has no answers for them on the scoring end. But the Golden Eagles getting it together themselves a little.
Yeah, the and one.
Johnson Jr. again trying to drive inside, finds the man wide open. Makai Cameron can't hit the shot. Johnson Jr. on the rebound. Jaylon Johnson on the shot, and Demetrius Johnson with a quick shot. He won't get it. Rebound in nobody's hands so far. Layton saves it for a moment. The loose ball's in the hands of the Golden Eagles. 3-ball from Johnson. To get back and work after he makes 2 free throws. That one goes out and is rebounded by Tennessee Tech. They have a chance to get their closest lead here in the past, I don't know how long. At least 30 minutes. Going inside, however.
In the age of the transfer portal, it's a unique setup for North Alabama, where you've got experience like Will Susi, Jakari Lane, and you got Daniel Ortiz.
It's like the deep ball in football. Sometimes they can get you some points just by throwing it 50 yards down the field.
Tennessee Tech holds strong underneath. Johnson pulls up in transition. Watch out!
And Tennessee Tech starts out with the basketball. Watch out for this guy, Jaylon Johnson, 13 points per game. He's knocked down 19 three-pointers. These guys love to let it fly. They've knocked down at least 10 three-pointers in every single game so far this season.
I'm sure they don't want to take 10 seconds every possession just to get their offense set up.
3-ball goes down off the glass and good for Huffman. His first bucket of the ball game.
Good strong drive to the basket, initiating the contact. Doesn't allow the defender time and space to contest without fouling, so he gets a bucket.
Boy, nice cut. Offense will keep you on the field for the baseball program, but You've got to have the defense, and Tyler Tanner brings the defense with him.
And so when you got a player who can excel at one area, stopping the other team from scoring, then you got to find time.
The glass and
Johnson Jr., the spin move, the shot attempt begging. He's able to save it, though. Nice play by Rodney Johnson Jr. Now Jaylon Johnson nets a three. And hitting. Iverson King. 2-point game.
Thus far, neither team shot very well from the three-point line, and that's been both teams' game.
Layton through traffic, so he elects to bring it back out. 10 to shoot, Rodney Johnson Jr. Jaylon Johnson, why not? It goes, long range. Jaylon Tech gets the rejection. Ola Ajiboye. Now Johnson missed it short. Got his own miss. Goes up, hits, foul as well. Chance for three. Going toe to toe. Glasgow throwing it up and doesn't go. Tip, no. Volleyball around, and it will be Johnson. Hits a three. Whoa, what an ending to the first half. Good look, Stewart. Spins out, tipped to Tech. Egbunaway. Locates Johnson. Johnson, after the pump fake, will knock down the three.
Big.
That jumper, Stewart, and it's Egbunaway the board.
Tech missed an opportunity for a fast break there. They had numbers, and Johnson pulled it up.
And he'll get all the way to the basket. Jaylon Johnson.
Peterson really does a great job going to the boards.
Snaps the 9-0 Golden Eagle surge. Rodney Johnson Jr. That one slammed right off Peterson. He got it back. A lot of heat on that. Johnson Jr. almost lost it. 4 to shoot. Jaylon Johnson, deep three. Oh, he's got it.
Wants to avoid getting late in the shot clock. That was as late as it got there. Hall bullying his way inside. Couldn't get it to go. And it's rebounded by Rodney Johnson Jr. Transition three. Jaylon Johnson.
I think a lot of players would have tried to shoot that quickly and force something. But again, his patience and his pace around the post. A lot of times we talk about pace when it comes to guards at the top of the key and how they handle it. But Keyshawn Hall has great pace in the post. That's why he's so good at drawing fouls.
Step back tough. Three. The offensive board. Taylor poked away from behind by Jaylon Johnson. Tough finish, but he crawled.
Tanner, Ricky, Bradley. Bradley sees two. He's still in the lane. Floater, no good. Kyle Layton pushes it. Grant Strong into the lane. Back out to Daniel. Daniel over to Jaylon Johnson for three. Junior back to Augie. Augie into the lane. Nearly 2 points. Solid defensive possession from Tennessee. Johnson for three, and it is good. He sinks the. Glasgow into lane, pushes it up, kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson. Johnson for three, and it's good. Tan, Bradley, A.J. Clark, T.J. Augie, VMI. Last shot, up and over Augie, it's good.
He's got 6 early, tied with Davis for the most, West Georgia. And Boonaway's 8 leads all players. Glasgow has 7 for the Golden Eagles. Boonaway. Now Johnson winds up and bangs in the 3. Turn trip for the purple and gold.
We're talking about having only, out of the 10, only 7 made it down the floor last time. Tennessee Tech had some wholesale substitutions during that timeout. Get some fresh bodies in there.
Deep 3, Jaylon Johnson.
Free throw, and it's been the second man in the lane every time. Nobody put a body on him.
Davis lost it. Johnson, he lays it in.
Sensation. Hello, Asa Newell.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that this year.
My goodness, he's one of those players, too. It looks like 1 or 2 dribbles, and that's a terrific finish at the rim there from Jay.
Just whether that's 9-0 run. They're making their own run of their own now.
Oh, there's a great back cut, and the Golden Eagles lead it by a point. Johnson, no. Lawrence now for George, as we mentioned earlier. A good rebounding guard, but he turns it over. And it's Jaylon Johnson with the finish. Number 3. Similar, long arms, very quick. Who do you go with?
I would go with Lawrence just for now, for his experience, what he's been through so far, compared to what Silas has been through. And Silas, thinks offense a little more than he does defense.
Step back 3, Johnson, it's good.
Wow.